Aaron and Teyana.
Baby, as soon as I seen these pictures circulating last night, my little crush on him just disappeared immediately.
It started with whispers that no one could pin down, glances exchanged at parties, awkward pauses in conversations that never quite added up. Teyana had mastered the art of denial, holding her head high while her heart hammered in her chest every time someone dared to hint that her perfect family might not be so perfect after all. Behind closed doors, she told herself she could hold it together. She swore to Iman that loyalty was her crown, that no test, no rumor, no late-night question could pull their castle apart. Iman wanted so badly to believe her. He laughed it off with his friends, brushed off gossip with that proud smile, pretending he was too solid to be shaken by shadows. But Aaron was the crack in the wall nobody could seal. He'd corner Teyana late at night, voice low but sharp, saying the baby's eyes didn't lie and neither did the whispers. She broke the night he wouldn't stop. One test, just one, a vial of spit, a signature, a promise to herself that maybe the results would silence him forever. But when the envelope came, heavy and sharp as a blade, she couldn't bury it anymore. That piece of paper burned a hole in her purse until it hit the table. And when it did, it hit harder than any fight ever could. Iman sat there with that grin. The same grin that used to make Teyana feel like nothing could touch them. He even chuckled when she pushed the envelope across the table, calling it pointless drama as he ripped it open. But that chuckle cut off sharp when his eyes fell to the numbers printed in black and white. Witnesses say he read it twice, lips moving, throat tight, that grin peeling off like cheap paint in the rain. Teyana's hands reached for his, but he yanked back like her touch was poison now. Across the room, Aaron leaned against the wall, arms crossed, that smug half-smile flickering because the numbers spelled out everything he'd been shouting in secret. Iman's voice cracked when he finally spoke, 3 words nobody in that room will ever forget. It's his, not mine. The paper fluttered from his hand, landing face up like a funeral program for the family they'd all pretended was real. Nobody dared breathe. Nobody moved. And then Iman turned, no suitcase, no speech, no apology, just the slam of the front door echoing through the house while Teyana's tears stayed trapped in her throat. The second that door shut, Teyana collapsed like her bones couldn't hold her secrets anymore. All those nights whispering promises to herself that she'd fix this someday turned to dust in one heartbeat. Some friends say she stumbled to the door after him, but her knees gave out before she could reach the knob, heartbreak pinning her to the cold floor she used to dance barefoot across. Aaron stepped forward, ready to catch her like he always claimed he would, but she shoved him so hard he nearly fell. His truth had burned every bridge she thought she still had. Insiders swear she begged him to keep quiet when the test first came, to let them handle it behind locked doors, to protect the baby, to protect Iman from the shame that was now eating her alive. But Aaron didn't want secrets anymore. He wanted the world to see the truth she'd buried under fake smiles and curated photos. And now she's stuck, holding a baby whose eyes tell a story she can't rewrite, trapped in a scandal she knows the world will replay 1,000 times over. She can't run, she can't hide. All that's left is to face the same cameras she once used to paint a fairytale nobody will ever believe again. For Aaron, that piece of paper wasn't just proof, it was his crown, his throne, his ticket to the spotlight he'd always claimed he didn't want but never stopped chasing. He's already telling everyone who'll listen that the DNA makes him more than the side piece people whispered about at clubs and backstage green rooms. Now he's the father, the man who never lied, the man who deserves the seat at the head of the table Iman used to claim. Some say he's moving fast, calls to lawyers, drafts of new paperwork, whispers about quiet custody deals before Teyana can spin this mess her way. Meanwhile, Iman's silence roars louder than any statement ever could. No texts, no calls, not even a line to the press. And that silence makes the scandal grow teeth, because people fill the quiet with whatever story they want to believe. Aaron's camp is loving it, feeding leaks to gossip blogs, painting him as the loyal father who never backed down from the truth. But the internet doesn't pick heroes cleanly. Some fans say Aaron's just a snake who found the right crack in the wall and slithered in until he could blow it all apart. Still, one thing's clear. With Iman gone and Teyana cracked open for the world to pick apart, Aaron's holding the baby and the spotlight, and he's not letting go of either anytime soon. The second the DNA leaked, The internet did what the internet always does. It turned someone's heartbreak into a global spectacle, heartbreak dressed up as entertainment. In minutes, the screenshots hit the timeline, official documents with just enough redacted to seem leaked, but enough visible to confirm what had only been whispered until now. Meme pages didn't even pause. Side-by-side comparisons flooded the feed. The baby's eyes next to Aaron's smile, those same dimples blown up and circled in red, like a court ruling could be made from pixels alone. Iman's stunned face, frozen mid-blink in a doorway, was looped next to Teyana's hollow stare from a clip where she didn't say a word. Together, they were packaged into punchlines and stitched into TikToks that had millions of views before she even had a chance to open her phone. Old videos crawled out of the archives like ghosts with a grudge. Iman, laughing too loud on a talk show couch, proudly calling the baby my twin, holding up framed pictures of family dinners, loyalty tattoos on display like proof of permanence. But those clips hit different now. People didn't just watch, they dissected. The laughter was fake. The confidence was forced. The loyalty inked on his skin? Now it looked like the punchline to a joke he didn't see coming. Underneath each video, the captions cut deep, sharper than anything printed by gossip blogs. It wasn't just drama anymore. It was personal. And the fans? They split instantly, like they always do when the truth finally lands. Some dragged Teyana with a fury that had been simmering for months. They filled comment sections with accusations, calling her a liar, a manipulator, a woman who played happy family in birthday photos that now felt staged, rehearsed, hollow. They reposted her old Instagram captions, forever grateful, my everything, and tore them apart word by word, each one now loaded with irony. But others weren't letting Iman off easy either. They reminded everyone how cold he had been long before Aaron started showing up with his easy charm and soft voice. They pointed out how Iman had checked out emotionally, how he'd held on to the title of father for the cameras but not the child. To them, this wasn't just betrayal, it was karma in motion. Some even claimed he knew all along, that this DNA test wasn't a bombshell, but a carefully timed leak meant to control the damage. And then there were the conspiracy threads, wild, layered, and growing by the second. They claimed Iman had seen a first test months ago but agreed to silence for the sake of public image. Others believed Aaron had paid off someone inside a lab to get the timing just right, a strategic hit to secure his place in the spotlight. There was talk of a second test, a sealed envelope hidden in a safe, waiting for the next PR war. But buried beneath all the theories was one undeniable truth. The ink on that paper doesn't lie. This wasn't speculation. This wasn't rumor. It was fact. And no amount of carefully worded PR statements or deleted posts could undo it now. Behind the screens, the real war is only just beginning. Insiders say Iman's legal team is already in motion, quietly pulling his name from documents, erasing himself from anything that ties him to a child he now legally doesn't belong to. Birth certificates, trust funds, future obligations, all getting rewritten. Not out of cruelty, they say, but out of self-preservation. He's done playing father to a story he no longer fits into. Meanwhile, Aaron's camp is working fast, faster than the internet can scroll. There are whispers of an exclusive interview in the works, photo shoots already lined up, brand deals being pitched around the idea of real love, second chances, and new beginnings. Matching outfits, curated family portraits, the kind of fairytale Instagram loves to devour. But the truth is too messy to airbrush. Beneath every glossy picture lies a timeline that doesn't match, a wound that hasn't healed, a betrayal still bleeding. Teyana, though, she's the epicenter of it all. Torn between the story she tried to protect and the reality she can't run from anymore. One arm around the child who's at the heart of it all, and the other bracing for the storm she knows is far from over. Some say she's already writing her side, not just a statement, but a tell-all that'll turn the camera toward Iman, expose the cracks behind his clean image, bring out the skeletons he's kept carefully locked away. Because if she's going down, maybe she's not going alone. Others say she's disappearing. No interviews, no confessions, just locked gates, switched phones, and silence until the noise dies down. She's done being the headline, at least for now. But even if she vanishes, the story won't. Not yet. Not while people still have questions. Not while clicks keep coming. And then there's the final uncertainty. Not about DNA or timelines, but about loyalty. Will Iman ever forgive? Will Aaron still be standing when the spotlight shifts and something shinier comes along? Will Teyana rebuild or retreat for good? The DNA told the truth, finally, clearly, painfully. But the fallout? That's just getting started. And if the past is any hint of what's to come, the truth may be the only clean thing left in a war about to unleash 100 new lies. So now it's your turn to pick your villain. Is it Teyana, the woman who lied with a smile and broke a promise that was never hers to make? Is it Aaron, the so-called hero who dropped a truth bomb that nuked an entire family just so he could wear a crown he claims he never wanted? Or is it Iman, the king who turned his back instead of fighting for the family he used to swear he'd die to protect? Drop your wildest theory below. Who's hiding the worst secret? Who's faking their tears? And who's sitting on the next bombshell that'll shatter the internet all over again? If you want every leaked text, every teary confession, every courtroom meltdown the second it spills, don't look away. Because this wasn't just a DNA test. It was a match lit under a fake kingdom. And when Iman breaks his silence, the truth might just break the world with it. Stay right here, because the next lie that drops might be the one none of them can survive.